Yeah, you said congrats, 10 boys. Nice. There's 10 boys.
You got too horny, and that's why.
I don't want him to come. Jake, how horny does this make you? Very horny.
It's one big joke, believe me. Minnesota sports in all sorts. You see, they know it's never gonna get easy. You see, they know it's Minnesota, constant pain and misery.
And I'm a part of Al Qaeda.
It's 10K TV. It's one big joke, believe me. Minnesota sports. In all sorts.
Dude, he could turn Daniel Jones into Brett Favre.
Minus the penis pics.
Yeah. You can legally smoke crack.
What is a DVOA?
I went dicks, vaginas, or ass.
I think that's what it is.
Don't know much except to yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman. I am joined as always by journalists Jake and Sarge. I mean, just a glorious day, gorgeous day here in the Twin Cities. Only our 14th nice day in a row. The weather here is basically like Phoenix. You walk outside every day and think you're in paradise. Speaking of being in paradise, the Minnesota Timberwolves back up 2-1 on the series. I'll throw this out there first off. I think we lucked out that Steph got hurt.
Sure. We played some of the sloppiest basketball I've ever seen in my life. Saturday's game, it felt like whenever the Warriors had a 2-point lead, it felt like it was like a 20-point deficit. The Wolves could not. It was a 2-point game for like 3 quarters.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. No team could break ahead, and I think that's mainly because the Golden State couldn't because they don't have Steph Curry, and Draymond Green's a bitch. But the Wolves.
Oh, Jake, he's an angry black man.
He is an angry black
Remember
man.
what did you see his post-game interview where he said everyone's probably going to see what I did today and call me an angry black man?
I didn't see that.
It's like, well, yeah, man, or you could just say you're angry.
You're just an angry dude, angry player.
Throwing in your own skin color didn't seem necessary.
That
Yeah, he
makes
literally
sense.
said, everyone's going to watch my game tonight, my reaction, and just say, yeah, he's just some angry black man.
No,
Okay, Draymond.
no, you already have a reputation of just being an angry basketball player in general. I don't know if the race has to do with anything, but whatever. All I know is that, yeah, he's still been I would say he's more of an angry bitch. That's what I would describe him as. But
He has this unique ability to flop while also assaulting the other person at the same time. Like he looks like when he flails out, he looks like he got hit in the face or something and he's embellishing, but he'll also hit the other person in the face as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Like he had that in game 2 where he threw his hands out, smacked Naz Reid right in the face, and then was asking for the call.
yeah, oh yeah,
There's a foul on me.
That's right. He's like the master at that of throwing the hands up. Like I didn't do anything.
Also,
so.
we can never let him shoot 3-pointers the way he did was that game 1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was game 1 where we just absolutely last Tuesday just looked like.
Yeah, we cannot let a senior citizen, we cannot let an angry man who's a senior citizen, who has a podcast, who got booed at the Target Center in last year's Western Conference Finals to make that many 3-pointers. I haven't seen Draymond Green shoot a 3-pointer in what feels like decades. And he made, 4 or 5 against us in game 1? I know that's so far away and it doesn't matter, but I had to throw that out there.
But yeah, there were a couple weird elements that when Steph Curry went down, we're like, oh, this game should be a shoe-in now. Just like these last 2 games didn't feel like shoe-ins the way we were playing. But Draymond Green was hitting random threes, but then there was that white dude, Pat Spencer.
With a headband?
Was he wearing a headband?
The guy with the afro?
No, not the afro.
Oh,
Pat Spencer.
Oh, you're thinking the guy with the
porn
mustache.
Yeah, Pat Spencer.
He looks like the kind of guy who says, try that in a small town.
Yeah, he looks like I think I looked into him a little bit. I'm like, okay, I think he played at Northwestern. I think I remember him playing with them way back in the day. But at the time, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He's just going in and actually getting aggressive and going up against Naz Reid and making layups. He's a guy that I was surprised he wasn't wearing a headband. Actually, he seems like he's a white guy that should be wearing a headband, because he was just making absolutely ridiculous plays in Steph Curry's absence, and was another factor of why they were able to somehow score points without Steph Curry and beat us in Game 1. So yeah, Draymond Green, then Pat Spencer, but then he was on the bench the last 2 games. It's like, how did this guy rip our defenses apart in Game 1? So
Well, it did help that for them that our three-pointer woes somehow bled over into games 1 and 2, despite having a week off. Like Game 1, we were watching on the stream and we're like, oh my God, nothing has changed in a week. We can't hit threes. Somehow still Nickeil Alexander-Walker seems to airball 2 or 3 of them a game, which has just become impressive for how good he actually is at shooting three-pointers. I don't know if he has like the yips, but he's airballing them. Draymond's making them. The whole world was flipped upside down at least Game 1. So thank God they were able to bounce back. I don't want to say thank God that Steph got hurt, but it does help a lot. And Ant is playing like the guy he should be. He balled out in that second half, had 36 points.
Keyword second half.
Second half, yeah. Yeah, he played like dog shit in the first half. That was tough. He's kind of hot and cold. One guy who's been hot the entire time, and hotter than it is in this fucking studio right now, because they're installing the AC this week, but it is according to the thermostat, it's 82 degrees in here.
that's insane.
So we're just basically doing a sauna in here. But playoff Julius Randle, how about that? A triple-double in last game. He's just been awesome.
Well, I thought I saw a stat where he accounted for like the Wolves just a little under half of their points over like 2 games or something.
That's what it feels like.
Games 2 and 3 or something. He accounted for like almost 50% of their points in scoring, and that would be true, because if you think back, like Anthony Edwards really wasn't. It didn't feel like Ant was even like trying to be like to step up. It's like he was trying to be. It's like he was trying to be a team player. That sounds bad, but it sounds like he was just trying to pass and get other people involved. It's like, dude, bro, I get it, but sometimes you just gotta take the ball yourself and try to
Green light
make
to be a
moves.
ball hog.
Yeah,
Green light and be a ball hog.
green lit, and he did that in the second half, more so into the fourth quarter. Really, just is that Game 3 was scary. I'm like, we can't lose this game.
No.
Can't go down
No.
2-1.
He had that one shot on Saturday night where he was almost out of bounds. The shot clock was at 1. He had the creative player that they made in the back with the headband and the curly hair and the goatee. That's the guy I was telling you about.
Who the hell is
Golden
his name
State.
again?
Dude, they're making players in the back.
Yeah, they are.
Just like LA was. But he was in Ant's face playing really good defense, and Ant turned around and did like a fadeaway from basically out of bounds, and it just swished.
Yep, that's right. I remember that.
And that's got to be one of those moments as a defender. Either that or one of the 4 times where Ant would just put his testicles in another man's face and dunk. In the last game, he just jump higher than everybody.
Yep.
Like what do you do as an NBA player?
I don't know.
When you're playing genuinely good defense, you're not fouling, you have your hand in their face, and someone like Ant does that. How do you not get deterred and just quit?
I was about to say, like, I would have turned to the coach. Can I just quit after this game? Like, I'm doing everything I learned from my young days of playing basketball on how to play defense, and you have a guy still scoring on it.
Yeah, Ant's like a genetic cheat code.
He
can jump higher, he can shoot better, he can run faster. Like he can play better defense. He's not supposed to be good at defense. He's way too good at everything else.
No.
But the fact that he can lock down on defense too is just the icing on the cake.
I know. It's been great. It was very entertaining. Speaking of like him. Well, you said like he loves jumping up and showing his testicles. I'm surprised we didn't hear of him saying something about or smack talking on the court or saying something like these testicles have made 5 kids, motherfucker, or something like that. Like
3 different women, bro.
As he just drains a 3 with a guy in his face, and then he made that dagger 3 near the end where he had like 2 opportunities where like Julius got the rebound and then he passed it back to him for a second chance and then he nailed that one. So. That Anthony Edwards has been popping up as he should be after having a cold start. So
yeah,
is Steph Curry gonna be back in Game 5?
So from what I've heard, he could try to play.
Yeah,
but he wouldn't be 100% no matter how, because his game relies on him running around so much. Like, he'll run up to 3 miles a game, which is crazy for how much, he just circles the basket to get open. And just with the hamstring injury he's sustained, even if he did play, I feel like he would just be so limited. He'd almost be like Ovi. He'd have to fucking sit in one spot and just wait for an open shot.
Wait for one-timers.
Yeah.
He's getting evaluated on Wednesday whether he's playing Game 5 or not.
Just
FYI.
Regardless of what the answer is, he won't be 100%.
No, he won't be.
And thank God that our three-pointers started falling, because I really thought it was just never going to come back. It was almost like and Golden State was able to capitalize. They were obviously able to do quite a bit of damage still without Curry in Game 2 for a little bit there, in Game 3. But it almost felt like in the battle. Sarge, you ready for a World War II reference?
Yes.
It was almost like in the Battle of the Bulge when the clouds finally lifted and we were able to get some air support in the forest of the Ardennes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like when the Wolves started finally making three-pointers again, it's like they were like, Germany's like, oh, we're fucked now.
Yeah.
Like that was literally Golden State. They're like, well, if they keep missing three-pointers, we might be able to figure out a way to pull this off. But then once the three-pointers started, I mean, they were toast.
Yeah, it's like the heavens opened up, honestly, and it just started raining threes. But it was I noticed, I think it was in Game 1 where I think we started 0 for 20 from 3.
Yep.
And I think we hit maybe only a couple more after someone hit one. I don't know if it was Jaden McDaniels, but it's insane how a team can be that collectively cold in one stat. Like, I know some players can just have
witchcraft.
bad games. Yeah, it's weird. Like, someone did something. It's like someone, I'll go into this with the Twins, but it's like someone made a deal with the devil and like, okay, well, if you want the Twins to be good, the Wolves got to shit the bed in the playoffs or something like that. So, but it's funny how like 5 guys like DiVincenzo and Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Alexander Walker, even Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, no one could hit a 3. 5 people were like, we're 0 for 3, 0 for 4, 0 for 5, and they had wide open threes. DiVincenzo had like 3 open threes in Game 1s and 2, and especially in Game 1, where they just lip out.
Yep. It hit the rim in 4 different spots and pop out somehow. Yeah. It was just bad luck.
And then you have guys like Pat Spencer come down, those white ass, cracker ass motherfuckers coming down and just doing damage on 3 of our best defenders. It doesn't make sense. But now I think we figured it out a little bit on Saturday. So
I reposted the video of interviewing people on the street from last year if Anthony Edwards started kissing them, if they'd stop. I just love all the comments calling us gay.
Yeah, it's a very common occurrence that happened last year, but that was the risk we were willing to take.
I had to post it again to try to turn around the juju, and it somehow did reinvigorate Ant in that second half. He's like, oh God, if I make enough shots, maybe this will go away again. I also did see that Michael Irvin did try to kiss him.
Really?
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw that. When did that happen?
Damn it. I should have sent this to you, Sarge. I didn't think of it. They met up before the game on either Saturday or last Thursday, and they were taking a picture, and Michael Irvin like turned his head and like gave him a smooch, and Ant he just looked pissed.
Oh, man. Maybe you wouldn't be too fond of that video.
It was like the day I released the video, too, and someone tagged me. They're like, well, it looks like people are trying to kiss Ant. And I'm like, this kiss gate is getting a little weird now.
We've started an influence or a trend now that might make Ant a little upset, or maybe he'll like it. I don't know.
Lights a fire in him, just a little talk of homosexuality.
We did. That's all it takes, And then Ant gets going, man. Send him to this year's Pride Festival, man.
Things that are unrelated.
I know.
Anything else on the Wolves? You guys want to move on? Let's just, by the way, join the stream here in literally an hour and a half for game 4. Game 4. Also, too, on top of that, we are giving away tickets to Game 5 on Wednesday, which could be a closeout game if you go to our Instagram, 10K Takes, or Facebook, 10,000 Takes. We're giving away 2 tickets, and separately, we're giving away a Naz Reid signed jersey. So...
huge.
Sarge, what do you got for us?
This is unrelated to everything, but Matt from YouTube just mentioned that there is a sinkhole at Burger Mo's, and West 7th is...
We're going to get to that.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
That's actually good. No, you're good. That's going to be at the tail end of the Captain's Patch ad.
Okay. Never mind.
Matt, stick around for that because that is fucked up. We will address it.
All right.
especially as a resident of St. Paul myself. I am a concerned member of the city. But all right, let's talk about the Twins, man. Twins are 8 in a row, back-to-back sweeps. The Orioles and the Giants. I mean, it's kind of funny too because we won that big game yesterday in extras, and it doesn't feel like anytime we go to extra innings, it doesn't feel like we're gonna win. I guess that feels like overtime in any sport as a Minnesota sports fan, but apparently we're 2-3 in extras this year, which like isn't bad. It's not as bad as I thought.
No, I feel like the Twins in extra innings, especially when they introduced adding the runner to second base, I think was equivalent to when the NHL went to 3-on-3 overtime, and the Wild were fucking horrible in the beginning years of the 3-on-3 overtime back in 2016, 2017. I feel like that kind of translated to the Twins, but this year it's different, and I don't know. And in this 8-game winning streak, did they have another? Didn't they get that another extra inning win?
No, it was just this one in these 8, but they beat the Mets in extras.
Yeah.
And then I was at the game against Houston at home where they blew like a 6-run lead and lost in extras. Yeah. They lost to Cleveland in extras.
Well, at least they got a point.
Cleveland's been
It was
dog
the
walking
2
us.
wins are the Mets and the Giants.
Okay.
So if it's a coast team, we're a lock for the extras.
But I think in both of those now, this game was to continue the winning streak, and I think when we beat the Mets, I think that was to win the series, which was huge at that time because that was when we were winning like 6 of 7 or 6 of 8. So they won a couple gritty extra inning games, and the other ones at least they got a point.
We also brought this up that our hot streak right now is so last year, if you guys remember, there was an event called Bark at the Park where people were allowed to bring their dogs inside a Target field, which just probably results in a ton of dogs fighting, shit everywhere, piss everywhere, whatever, cool event. After Bark at the Park, they won 12 straight.
Yeah.
And Bark at the Park 2025, at least the spring edition of it, is actually a week from now, Monday the 19th. So we were talking a little bit before the show about how we are coming up to Bark at the Park and have won 8 in a row. And now we are playing the Orioles again, who we could sweep, knock on wood. They're pretty bad. And then, something around this Bark at the Park just gravitates wins, dude. Last year it was a funny phenomenon. This year I'm starting to think there's some merit to it.
Dude, especially now that the way the Twins, they just need to win every game up to next Monday, and then they're guaranteed another 15. So we're talking about a 35 to maybe a 30-game win streak here. If they can win the rest of our games for the next week up to Monday, we're going to be 45-20. I guarantee it.
We're going to be barking all the way to the World Series.
We're
baby.
gonna
fuck it. Let dogs in all the time.
We're going to put Billy Bean's Moneyball game or season. That's going to look like peanuts compared to what the Twins are going to do this year. So,
So we have the Orioles this week, obviously.
Oh, gosh, it could be another sweep. Let's go.
The Brewers, who are actually also pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're kind of like us, though. I think they're just. And then, so a 3-game series against the Orioles, 3 against the Brewers. So you sweep 2 more times, then you lead right into Bark at the Park, which is going to be needed because you're playing the Guardians.
Yeah.
3 games at home, and then the Royals 3 games at home. So some moves could be made in the division by barking.
Yes, let's get it going. I mean, let's hope. I don't know what's been happening now.
Yep.
That it's triggered the 8-game winning streak. It is weird. Like I mentioned in the Wolves, it's like it's like someone sold something and it was not the team. It was someone sold to Satan or something to get this team winning because it has been weird. But, this team has the talent from a hitting perspective. The pitching is where it's been surprising to me.
Yep.
They're pitching well. Maybe it is the warm weather. Korea. That sound like my father. Carlos Correa has been hitting, and they start to win. So that's weird, right? But no, and like I said, the weather warming up probably definitely helps.
Well, according to the Minnesota Twins X, the Everything app, not to be confused with the Xander Schauffele official X app.
Okay.
Their admin, the Twins admin, said the weather gets hot, we get hot. Mm-hmm. So you're not the only one who's subscribed to that theory.
Okay. Yeah, it's very true.
It does make sense that, but then again, this is most baseball teams, but a lot of guys from the South American region or Southern America play better when it gets warm out.
Well, that's what they grew up. They grew up where it was warm year round.
Right.
So they're not probably fully acclimated to
But that's
cold
every
weather.
team.
Yeah, a lot of let's look at you probably look at other teams though that are playing well, that started off the season well, that are in the northern part of the United States. So you can't really. I mean, these guys are professionals. I don't say that we should be using that as big of an excuse. Honestly, it probably plays a little bit of a factor, but they're professional baseball players. Hit the damn ball.
Just hit the damn ball.
And we have some of these white pitcher dudes that grew up in the northern U.S. that couldn't pitch early on.
Just got to start recruiting more in state, like Louis Marland.
Well, he's
start
been
getting
playing
these
all
cold
week.
weather boys to be able to carry us in the early months and the late months.
Dude, and another thing too, I loved seeing Rocco Baldelli's enthusiasm yesterday. He chucked his hat yesterday.
Yeah, no, on Saturday he got ejaculated.
He got ejaculated on Saturday, and then Sunday he got pissed over when the ump called time, which I thought was really weird. And he chucked his hat full Gardenhire style. So they're winning games, and Rocco Baldelli is getting ejaculated and throwing his hat. So I love to see it.
Is there a certain fine you get if you get ejaculated too many times in a season? Because what if like every time he did, we won, and then he just purposely started getting ejaculated every single game?
I don't think there's a rule other than but if there's a
If anything,
commissioner-
Gardenhire probably tried.
yeah, I feel like he definitely
the
tried
rules
to
of
do
that.
something. But if there's a commissioner that's going to find a way to make an emergency ruling on it, it's going to be Rob Manfred.
And then he's going to have a typo in the rule that says ejaculated.
Yeah, exactly. Specifically, he's like,
Hands
no.
check.
Yeah.
Royce Lewis is back. I think he just got his first hit since getting back, which
He had a 2-hit game. He's been slow to start,
Which
but
is
that's
fine.
expected.
I think
He's back.
it's kind of funny because the timing of him being back does line up to us winning. So, maybe it's kind of his heart and spirit. I know he's a very rah, kind of positive guy. I mean, maybe even if he's not getting hits, the boys are just happy he's back. Everyone's healthy, right, Sarge?
For the most part, yeah.
Correa's been given a few rest days. That's fine. He's, 37?
We haven't needed him.
I should have a few rest days a week.
Yeah,
where
load
I just
management.
don't have to work.
Yeah, we can pull a Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to shout out. The eye black design, that style that Royce Lewis goes with, though, is just awesome.
It goes so hard.
He looks like a full-on like Spartan Raider,
Yes.
which goes along with their theme when they get home runs, is wearing the
Right.
Spartan helmet,
Yep.
which is great. So
300. They're going for 300 home runs.
Yep,
Great movie.
they can do
Great
it.
movie.
300. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Sparta.
Yep. We're only working with $300 million in payroll, so that's their
It's on theme. It's
money
on
ball.
theme for the Twins.
What do you got for us, Sarge?
Lamar asks, what do the Twins need to do to keep this streak going?
Well, Lamar, we've already mentioned it. We do need to sweep 2 more times so that we enter Bark in the Park undefeated.
And then from there, it's taken care of.
Yeah, and then that'll set the tone the rest of the season. I think just keep everyone healthy. The pitching's been great, dude. Joe Ryan was lights out on Saturday. It seems like the closers are better, right? Jax is better.
Yep.
Duran seems to be better than last year. If the pitching can be like a 6 or 7 out of 10, and the bats are like a 6 or 7 out of 10, we should be able to win every
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Win
absolutely.
win almost every series.
Maybe not like against the Dodgers, but
Well, we're I think we're how many games are left? We're 21 and 20, 42, 100 and 120 games left. I think at this rate we could be 140 142 and 20.
yeah,
I think if my math checks out,
it's not impossible.
I think if we're batting and everything is just above
If
average.
it's not cold, according to the ex-admin.
Yep, and according to our analytics and our reporting and our stats, then they'll win out the rest of the year.
Yep.
Let's set a record.
Also, shout out I'm happy for Target Field and for the Twins. It did look pretty full this weekend, so I'm glad people are going to the games. I mean, I get the whole fuck the ownership, let's protest them. They go to the games, support the team. The players don't deserve that.
No.
And Captain's Patch is there. Buy Captain's Patch.
Yeah, go for Captain's Patch. It's nice sunny days. It's good beer to
Just perfect.
Just to suck down.
Yeah, just suck it down.
Yeah, suck it down. That should be the slogan.
Then get ejaculated from the crowd for fighting your own brother like that Oilers fan did at the Knights game.
Luckily,
That's
he
so
can't
weird.
punch hard because
Yeah.
he's been bloodied up. But he
That was the funniest clip ever. We'll
Yeah,
get to
I
NHL, but yeah, an Oilers fan was fighting his own brother in the Proud.
It's just typical. I'm not surprised.
Sarge, anything you got on the Twins?
No, shout out Kersey Jr. for getting his first career walk-off. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's been awesome defensively, but he has been able to hit a beach ball. But it doesn't matter when you come up big. So shout out to him.
Yeah. Also, I noticed this is actually a really big update I forgot to say as well. There is going to be a Stranger Things Joe Ryan-style bobblehead on July 9th if you're looking for a giveaway game.
Yeah.
I wonder
Jake,
what that's going to look like.
It's kind of right up your alley. There's a picture of it on the Twins Instagram.
I already have a Joe Ryan, and he does kind of look like that character from Stranger Things.
Who you said was in a band, a popular band.
No, you're thinking of Steve from from Stranger Things.
Yeah, but this is like modeled after Steve. He's a lookalike for Steve.
No, I think he looks I guess kind of. He looks like I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's hasn't watched Stranger Things because something happens to this character. Steve, maybe, but I'm trying to think who characters from Stranger Things.
You talking about the lifeguard?
The lifeguard dude.
Yeah.
That's who I think he looks like.
He looks exactly like
what was
him.
his
Billy.
Billy. He looks like Billy. He looks almost
exactly like Billy, dude.
And you know
Great
what?
reference.
Yes, that's exactly who he looks like.
Wait.
I guess Steve Harrington maybe, but
No, he
looks like Billy.
without a doubt.
Does Billy ride a bike?
Oh yeah.
Lot?
I don't know if he
motorcycle.
No, like an actual bike, because this is what the giveaway is.
See, that's probably on theme for the kids in Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
that-
They all
that's
ride
season
bikes.
one.
Oh, okay.
Billy's like an older guy, dude. He looks exactly like this dude. I wish you could pull.
Oh,
up
wait, yeah, this guy.
look at Billy. Yeah, he looks
Douchebag.
exactly
Yeah,
like
this
Billy.
guy. I remember this guy.
Billy Hargrove.
You know what? I'll ruin it for people. This guy gets murked.
Yeah, he does die in season 3.
Yeah. Fuck him.
So you know, yeah, we don't
Spoilers.
we don't put disclaimers that we're gonna ruin spoilers, but I don't care.
If you haven't watched that show yet, you'll probably never watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say if you haven't watched,
one of those things.
it's been on for almost 10 years now. So yeah, but he looks like Billy from Stranger Things, 100%.
All right, you guys want to talk? What do we got? Loons next?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Loons.
Loons, 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 loons.
We beat Messi 4-1, so we own Messi.
Yep, and they still have Boxall.
They do really?
Yep, he's still a captain.
God.
He's the only player on both sides.
Did you transition already? Or what do you...
Yeah, no, just don't worry about me.
Oh, you're like... He was like rolling at me and staring at me. I'm like, well, what's going on?
Don't worry
I
about
know we're not. There isn't a lot.
It was one of those moments where it's like, what do I do with my hands?
No, you're good. But yeah, Boxall.
Also, shout out Jettas, Kirill, Taylor, Heisey, and Zuccy were all at that game as well.
sick.
Messi game. Messi is 5'7" in real life, or that's his height. I feel like he's, like those guys where you go to NBA games and you're like, wow, he looks even bigger in person. Like the first time we met Naz Reid, we're like, holy shit, that guy's on stilts.
Yeah.
Messi seems like one of those guys where you see him out there and you're like, holy shit, that looks like a toddler.
Well, I like how you said, like, in real life he's short, but that you got a point because you think that when you watch him on TV and you think of him as an athlete in your head, you think of him being over 6 foot. But then
Right.
you see him in person, he's not a tall dude. He's probably could still kill all of us in terms of not just soccer, but kick our asses. The guy's probably ripped.
His bodyguards would too.
Yeah, right. But he's not a big guy.
Who would win a wrestling match between his bodyguard and Ashton? Is it Ashton Hall's
Ashton
bodyguard? Who,
Who the fuck is that?
the morning routine guy?
Ice bath.
He's apparently got bodyguards that carry Glocks on them to
Just insane.
escort this guy out of his apartment
I don't know if
complex so
there's
he
anyone-
so he can go run in parking lots.
I don't know if there's anyone trying to assassinate Ashton Hall, to be honest with you. But okay, maybe crazy stalkers. But yeah, I was gonna say we own Lionel Messi, but other than Messi, the only other person I recognized in the lineup on that field that day was Boxall.
Which, Sarge, this was before your time at 10K, there was a point during COVID where we were actually watching the Loons quite a bit because they were on in the MLS's back tournament, which we were really confused with. There was all these weird rules to it. We tried to understand it for like an hour straight. But anyways, so we were debating on what it'd be like if Joe Buck announced soccer, and Jake said he would probably just say the same guy's name over and over again, like Boxall, as he's like running up the field. Boxall.
Because there's a lot of moments where one guy just has the ball,
And 20 seconds.
And Joe Buck has done that shit where on a punt return,
Yeah.
as a player's punt, he's just saying his name. So it'd be Boxall, Boxall, ball taken away at midfield.
So that's like our favorite Loons player now.
That's an old bit. That we'll probably find that video somewhere. That was
good
from
for
like 4
Boxall,
years
though,
ago.
dude. Good career longevity, staying in the same place. That's I think most people would wish for that. He's probably made a good amount of money over the years too. But
He's a captain. Good for him.
let's talk about Captain's Patch, folks. You know, it sits right in front of us for every broadcast. This is a beer that we partnered with Elm Creek Brewing on out of Champlin. It is a raspberry lemon shandy, perfect for these hot days, especially at a Twins game. If you go to the Twins games, it's sold at Gate 34. It is also in left field at the self-serve cooler. You can also get it at the XL Energy Center if you're going to Frost games, section 105. I know they got a big game coming up Wednesday night to close out the first round of the PWHL playoffs. So if you go to the X for a concert or for the PWHL playoffs, make sure to get Captain's Patch at 105 or at Twins games, Gate 34 or the left field self-serve beer cooler, or get it at captainspatch.com. Punch in your zip code. It'll show you where Elm Creek is served near you. And finally, if it's not at your local liquor store, tell them to order it. Tell them to buy it from Elm Creek because they will order it for you, and then you'll have it close to your house. It's what is that? It's demand and supply.
Supply and demand.
Well, but it's the other way around because you're demanding and they will supply.
You're right.
And then you win.
Exactly.
So we
We're
win too.
Helping the economy.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, it's also on tap at Burger Mo's, which if you go outside of Burger Mo's right now, there's a fucking massive sinkhole.
Like on West 7th?
35-foot deep sinkhole right in front of Burger Mo's. Yes, on West 7th Street.
So that whole road just probably shut down.
Oh, yeah.
In that area, like you can. Oh, that's
it's
bizarre.
down to one lane on each side.
Did a car fall in at all?
I don't know how they discovered it, but after the Timberwolves game, I was watching the news with my mom on Saturday night, and they were like, "There's a sinkhole outside of Burger Mo's on West 7th, and it's like 10 feet wide, and apparently it's 35 feet deep."
Oh my God!
And I guess it runs above like a massive sewer, and the moisture in the ground got the ground got so wet that it collapsed, like all the concrete just melted. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of scientific things that have to do with that. Thank God the Wild didn't make it to the second round. If they're having games going on that night,
That's the first thing I said to her out loud. I was like, I know, and they even said it on the news. They're like, yeah, we know the Frost games are here. They're not as big, but like, could you imagine if this would have happened during the Stanley Cup playoffs when West 7th is already a shit show for traffic before and after games?
A second round Wild would be wild, especially it would have been the second time. Oh, the first time in 10 years we made it out of the first round. I mean, it would have been crazier than the first round.
You had people on Lime scooters and bikes and Ubers all over and cars. Like, dude, a group of drunk guys probably would have fallen through that sinkhole and died.
We could easily fallen through there if we were on our Lime scooter.
Yeah.
That would have been our way out. We would have checked out that way. That wouldn't have been a good way to
that could have been us.
check out.
No.
All right.
Yeah, that's the tail end of the Captain's Patch ad. But, well, speaking of the Wild, how about Marc-Andre Fleury just tearing it up at Worlds right now? So he played one game on Saturday, made 16 for 17 saves, and he just did some fuck shit around the crease where he had a pretty good sequence of like a 1-2-3 type save where it ended with him diving across the crease.
Yeah, there was still just some. First out, these men's world championships are so underrated because you get to see like some outstanding extra hockey because you see all the top players in the world that are not playing in the NHL playoffs, mind you, go and play for their national teams. And yeah, you get to see like Fleury now. It's like an extra treat to just see him still sprawling around out there at 40 years old. He's not a fit. He's definitely retiring, but to see him go out like this, though, playing for on the world stage is pretty cool. Unless he's maybe he'll train and be a backup for Team Canada in the Olympics. Who knows? Maybe this is a little tryout. This is a little preview.
Fun fact too. He's 40 years old. You know, he's had a 20-plus year career. He's done it all. Stanley Cups, Vezinas. This is his IIHF World Championship debut with Team Canada.
He's never
played in an international tournament until 40 years old. He's done it all, and he was like, you know what? I'm just going to play in this tournament.
Damn. Did he ever play in the Olympics?
Yeah.
But IAHF.
Wait,
not IAHF.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think IAHF includes Olympics.
Wait, so
IHF is different from the
did he get
Olympics.
in I'm just assuming he did because it would be him and Carey
Google
Price,
it.
right?
I think he did. And I thought I remember he was the goalie in 2010 in Vancouver when in the gold medal game. Played in
who
the
else?
Olympics, But
Some people were mad that he played in this because they're like he took the spot of a young up and comer. But
yeah,
also,
right here. So your stat is specific to IHF,
right?
Not international.
Correct.
Debut.
No,
So-
this is not the first time he's played for Team Canada, but the first time he's played in an IIHF tournament.
which has been around happens every year.
Yeah, and
he's never played
every summer.
But yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury participated in the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics for Team Canada and won gold medal.
Yeah.
That was an incredible game, by the way.
So yeah, they beat Latvia 7-1, which I thought about this, guys. Was this a country of Canada, Hockey Canada, whatever you want to call it, revenge game?
Yeah, because of the World Juniors.
Yeah, Latvia
good
took down
call.
Canada.
They're like, you can take down our youngsters, but damn it, you're not going to get past our older guys. You're not going to fuck us up, and they just destroyed them.
They weren't going to let Latvia win 2 games in a row. That
No.
was not in the cards.
You can't do that.
No, you can beat the kids, but you're not going to beat the men.
No.
That's exactly what happened. So
gotta graduate
They
into that.
Yeah, they destroyed them. I forgot. I know the USA. I'm following the US a little bit in that I think they won both their first games like by a combined score of like 10-2 or something like that. So they're playing well. I think all the games are on NHL Network, so you can. Or something like that. Maybe
You can also create a free account on IAHF.com and watch all the games. I discovered that today.
It's huge. I think it's a little preview for I know this happens every year, but like this is the year where it's really fun because I think you are seeing more players that wouldn't maybe play in this even if they're not in the playoffs because it's we have the Olympics next year. So you're getting a little preview. They're trying to get a little bit of international play. Experience under their cards because I know the rules are a little different. So yeah, it's a little preview for the Olympics ahead next February, I think. So
Yeah, I think this is the first time Sid and Flower have played together since Pittsburgh.
yep,
Depending on when that Olympics was, because they're both playing. Nathan McKinnon's playing. I saw Brandon Montour's playing. He was involved in some of the goals.
yep.
I don't know who.
Jordan Binnington is the goalie. I think the
for
starter
Canada? Probably,
I think
yeah.
he's the starter, and then
Which is, you know what? Good for him for losing that tough Game 7 in overtime and then not just saying fuck off.
yeah.
Like Spurgeon's playing in it,
Yeah.
obviously after losing a tough series. It's crazy. Like, could you imagine in the NBA? I know we rip on basketball a lot, but we always just talk about like the different character between basketball. Like, could you imagine like if LeBron James had to play in a world championship right after, he wouldn't have
Never.
played right after getting eliminated.
Never.
I
So
realized we forgot to turn these lights on.
oh yeah, we turn them on.
It's
now.
already so goddamn hot in here.
Let's crank up the fucking heat, boys. We're like the episode of It's Always Sunny with the McPoyles.
Oh god.
Remember where they like turn on the heat?
yeah.
They're like, let's get clammy.
Oh gosh, dude, they're all sweaty in robes and naked. And
Dude, I'm sweating
spoiled
my
milk.
fucking nutsack off right now.
They are bringing.
great.
We do love our building. If I know our owner follows us, we do love it in here, but it is a little steamy. They are putting the AC in this week, boys, so helps on
They
the
better.
way. All right, let's talk about golf, huh?
Yeah.
We got a major week, PGA Championship, played at Quail Hollow in Charlotte. So do you guys want some stats on Quail Hollow that I got from ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Please.
So it is originally designed by George Cobb in 1961. The course has since undergone significant renovations, most noted by Tom Fizio, who updated it to modern championship standards. The course features a classic parkland style with tree-lined fairways, elevation changes, and fast undulated greens. The signature stretch of holes to look out for, 16, 17, and 18, are famously known as the Green Mile, not to be confused with 8 Mile, which is Detroit. And one of the toughest finishing stretches in golf, apparently.
Yeah. That's what I'm not well versed on courses. I'm not like
I'm working on that.
Yeah, it is good, but I've heard of Quail Hollow. I mean, you should have heard of Quail Hollow. Like growing up, you heard of Quail Hollow, like Quail Hollow, Quail Hollow, Quail Hollow. That's
Say
actually hard to say
times
three
fast,
times.
and you sound like you're saying
A slur.
a slur in another language.
Yeah, shouldn't be doing that actually again. But I know it's one of the finest courses in all of America, maybe even in the world. You could argue. So this is going to be a fun little championship. I'm really excited to see our friend Michael Block, who is allegedly better than a Grand Slam major champion, Rory McIlroy. So
if he had
let's
his driving, if he had his distance, Jake.
What an idiot.
Yeah, the block party. I'm beyond over this story, but you know what?
Good for him.
I don't know.
But at the same time, that kind of turned me off from the whole story.
And they were giving him sponsor exempts into every tournament after that, and the story just kept going.
They were trying to make it a story, and then people were like, this guy is kind of an ass.
Yeah, he went on a few podcasts, and then he stopped getting invites. It's like a douchebag.
A guy like, what's that, like a Shepley.
Neil,
what's his name?
Shipley.
Neil Shipley. He's a guy that deserves that kind of attention and a miracle.
Why isn't he not? Dude, he's winning on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, just
give him the sponsor exempts. Give our boy Marty Fish some more sponsor exempts. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Marty Fish. I know Joel Damon's good, but there's other guys to give attention to. They were trying to make him like this story, like they're going to make a movie about, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, we're staying away from this.
And they're like, oh, yeah. Well, then one of the tournaments he came back and missed the cut by like 12, and they're like, oh, that's right. There is a big gap between PGA professionals and professional golfers. Different things.
I was so confused because when I was looking into him a couple years ago and even doing some preview research on PGA Championship for this weekend, like I saw like, okay, why did he qualify again? And I see he won the PGA Pro Championship and blah 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 2014, and I was really confused. I'm like, wait, he didn't win a PGA Championship. I'm like, oh yeah, they're two separate things.
Yeah.
The PGA Professional Championship, which almost sounds better than PGA Championship.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we need to make that.
Yes, to be clear, this is not the championship of the season-long PGA Tour. This is a championship that celebrates the PGA Pros of America, which are guys at your local courses who teach others to play golf.
So how can those certified pros at any course? I know we know a couple pros.
Yeah.
Can they play in those qualifiers then?
Yes, to get into this tournament. Yep.
I'm sure there's a fee though, right?
Oh yeah, and there's probably like 3 or 4 levels to it. Like you just like the U.S. Open. We could qualify for the U.S. Open, but there's obviously like. There's 100 maybe. Okay, we take the top 5. Then there's 30. We take the top 5, and then there's 10. We'll take 1, like kind of thing.
And I think for the U.S. Open qualifiers specifically, I think you need to have a certain handicap to at least qualify.
100%.
Go to a qualifier.
Don't let you just go out there and pound beers.
Yeah, I have a 20 handicap. I average about 6 beers a round.
Yep.
Here's $5,000. Let me play in the U.S. Open qualifier. I'm gonna make it.
So, honest question though, who do you guys think's gonna win? Like okay, everyone go around, give an obvious answer. There's a few people we know who most likely will win. Then give like a midfield answer, and then give me like a real dark horse. I can start if you guys want to.
Yeah, you can go. I've been
research.
looking a little bit, but I need to. Yeah,
I do think it's gonna be Scotty. I think right now he's the better player. Obviously, Rory had a great week at the Philadelphia Cricket Club, which apparently my dad attended a wedding there like a decade ago.
Cricket Club.
Yeah, that was where the PGA Tour was this week. Very random fact. More people than you think have probably attended a wedding there, apparently. It's a hot wedding spot in Philadelphia. So yeah, he played good there, but Scotty was just so dominant, and he's been really waiting to break out. And the pressure's on him now to win a major because right now he just looks like a Masters and regular event merchant. He hasn't won anything outside of the Masters. Obviously, he's done the Olympics. That's cool. He did win a Ryder Cup 4 years ago, I guess. I mean, he has achievements, but in terms of major golf, he's looking for another one outside of the Masters. So I think he's going to be really locked in, and the pressure's going to be on him to win this week. So he's like my top tier. Mm-hmm. I would say my mid-tier pick. Gosh, I'm looking at like
there's so many good.
Looking at like Corey Connors, he's been really good this year.
Great.
He was great in the Masters. He's plus 4,000. And then if you want my dark horse, I'm scrolling way down. Why not Akshay Bhatia? Mm-hmm. Just been knocking on the door. Won a couple tournaments last year. Injured himself fist pumping on 18 at the Farmers or whatever tournament that was. Bad look for golf. Glasses, skinny, about 150 pounds soaking wet. He's due for one, so that's what I got. What do you guys got? Mid-tier, top tier, and dark horse?
I would say top tier for me is Scotty Scheffler because he's been so close in all the other majors, especially PGA Championships. I think if he gets on a roll here, he definitely is the top favorite for me. Mid-tier, I don't know if he'd be considered a mid-tier, maybe more in the higher group, like Jordan Spieth.
He's mid-tier.
I would say he's mid-tier.
He's won twice in 7 years.
Yeah, he's been playing a little better, I feel like, but compared to the last couple of years. But I like him as like a mid-tier. I just like him in general. I think he's a good dude. Like him and Justin Thomas, good friends. I would say just a mid-tier pick just to root for him. And then a dark horse, I was looking at a couple. I mean, I was looking at like Andrew Novak.
Yeah.
Kind of. He's way down there. But I think more of like someone that I would be more confident in picking is like, God, I know he's been dealing with the back issues and stuff, like Will Zalatoris.
Yeah.
Like just coming out of nowhere and finally getting back his stride to where he was before his back injury. He was always so close to winning like a Masters. He went to that playoff with Justin Thomas a couple years ago, and then he had that back issue, and now he's trying to come back. And
he was in the mix at the Masters for a little bit, I think.
Before even this past year, yeah,
like until Saturday. I think he blew up on Saturday, but he was at the top of the leaderboard at one point.
And then the U.S. Open a couple years ago against Matt Fitzpatrick at the end. So he's been so close. But like I guess he's probably my dark horse. Big name. I think he's still trying to come back from that injury. So
yeah,
those are kind of my guys.
Sarge?
All right. So chat is adamant about Bryson. I don't hate that at all. He's always in the mix here.
It all depends on the course setup for Bryson.
Yep. I'm gonna go Ludwig Oddberg.
Yep.
He's also due. That guy literally has the perfect golf swing. Kind of my mid-tier guy who won last week, Sepp Straka. I love that guy.
He's been on a fucking tear.
And I don't know if this is necessarily a dark horse, but a guy that I always love is Daniel Berger.
Daniel Berger?
Berger, sorry.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I guess he's not really a dark horse.
He's pretty dark, I think.
I think so too. But he is ranked 14th in the world right now. I just looked it up.
So he's a mid-tier points merchant.
Yeah. What about Sam Burns? Why not? Sammy Burns.
Recent 3M Open commit, Sam Burns.
Exactly. Yep. I was looking up 3M.
See that?
3M
yeah.
Open. Yeah.
Also, Justin Thomas been playing very great golf. I'd say probably a lock for the Ryder Cup right now.
Yep.
Love that.
Obviously won 2 weeks ago at Harbortown. He's been in the mix. He was in the mix for the Masters for a little bit. I think he finished top 10 last week, maybe even top 5 last week. He's been good. So, excited for four great days of golf.
Yes.
Not sure what the weather's supposed to be like there, but
it was pouring.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pouring today.
Yeah, in the practice round, there was like 2 inches of water on the course. It was just fucking bananas. So, all right, let's move on to what do we got next? Oh, a scoop from me.
Yeah.
A quote-unquote scoop. So a trusted source that I have has told me that the XL Energy Center is going to be renamed to Treasure Island Arena, which I'm not sure. I've been told by a lot of people I'm wrong, but I think this is just a normal thing in journalism.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're going to be called out and hated upon if you have even a trusted source, and people are going to tell you to pretty much say you're wrong. It's kind of a normal occurrence, but I mean, I would say that that's a very good hunch. We've heard that Treasure Island was in the contention to be a name, and we've been hearing that. I mean, they have Treasure Island stuff all over the place.
Well, they did watch parties at Treasure Island during the playoffs.
A lot of them. So they have a huge investment into it. Did someone say something, Sarge?
Matt on YouTube says, not Sinkhole Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Sinkhole Arena? The Sink Center?
The Sink Center. I don't know what company would be paying the X for it, but
we could create like a whole almost like student section, and that can be like the sink section.
Yeah, and you know what else you could do that? We could also like Vegas, they do those on ice animations, and it shows the actual sinkhole breaking.
It's just it's just like a fucking live stream of them like fixing it.
Yep.
Apparently
Or
it's gonna take 3 months to fix. By the way,
that's
holy
insane.
shit.
Man, it's a good thing the Wild aren't in the playoffs.
Oh my
I guess.
God, I'm glad I live on this part of the city and not
Yeah.
that side because it's
Like-
got to be a disaster.
You never know. There could be one. There could be a sinkhole that forms here
I wouldn't doubt it.
or anywhere. I think there was one near my apartment actually, like a month ago. Actually, I saw it. Unless
They'll
they were
sneak
doing,
up on you.
Unless they were doing maintenance or something on the road. But yeah, no, I think the TI. I think if they name it Treasure Island, I think it would obviously be like they would call it like we were talking about. Like they could call it the Island.
Yeah.
Or but TI Arena, I'm like they would need to change the goal song to Whatever You Like by TI. And have to have Joe Mauer do the first Let's Play Hockey because
Yep.
it just makes that much sense.
Is could even do any type of like Zach Brown band song because that's just island type
Yep.
music.
Island in the Sun by Weezer.
Guys, Island Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yes. So that's why I really want us to win this, or why I want TI to win this bid, if I'm right, is so we can just go to a ton of games and call ourselves Island Boys.
Yep.
What if, dude, those guys, by the way, you can like buy their OnlyFans and they just make out with each other.
That's just so bizarre.
I saw that on Twitter.
Oh my God.
I don't think any of us are gonna start an OnlyFans with
just
us
some-
Wild fans.
I'm
but,
an incest island boy.
Island boy.
Dude.
That thing people do for money.
If this does become Treasure Island Arena and we call it the Island, this bit's going to be overdone by us. It's going to get to the point where we're going to lose followers because we're just going to be at the game after a win and be like, we're Island Boys. We're Island Boys.
We thought the Island Boy thing was over. I mean, a couple years ago we were saying it all the fucking time. I'm an Island Boy. Now we're bringing it back.
Yep.
That could be a con.
Dude,
of
you
bringing
have
it
them
back.
do Let's Play Hockey.
Oh yeah.
And then
Everybody,
they
we're Island Boys.
they just start fucking each other.
Yeah, they don't even do Let's Play Hockey. They have to kick them out. Like, boys, did you get the prompt today?
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
They're just the face of fucking bath salts in Florida. Last thing I wanted to mention on this, it is sad to hear that Camel Towing in Ham Lake and Rock Hard Landscaping lost their bids. Also, Sarge, I heard that the Brazzers Center was also a horse in the race.
Dude, that would have been sick.
Pornhub.com arena.
You get all the stars there. Oh my God, I'd go to every game.
You would just drop. You would drop season ticket. You go into debt to pay $5,000 for season tickets.
Dude, if Rachel Starr was going to be
Oh
there
my
every
gosh.
night, yeah.
The Rachel Star Lounge instead of the custom.
Sarge would pay
instead of
whatever
the custom
money.
one lounge.
Yeah, it would just. Oh man.
Johnny Sins does Let's Play Hockey.
Oh man. Sarge would be all on board with that, and a lot of other people too. I mean, you oh man,
The Wild
Did you see
fan
those
base.
games.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so good.
That'd be great.
All right, let's talk about some merch, folks. We got a lot of awesome merch, as you can see here. You know, we've been showing this. We will show this specific animation until the Minnesota Frost run it back and win the Walter Cup. Right? Holy shit, I'm having a blank. That's the Women's Stanley Cup. Anyways, playoffs are happening right now, so get your Run It Back T-shirts for the Minnesota Frost and buy Captain's Patch. Watch them win it, by the way. And also check out all of our other merch on there. Yeah, it is the Walter Cup. Thank you. This heat is just melting my brain over here. We got Twin stuff on there, Viking stuff, Wild stuff. We got these 10K hats we've been wearing. So go to 10ktakesmn.com. The Billy G shirts. We've seen you guys been buying it. We appreciate the support. Get your merch, 10ktakesmn.com. Let's talk about just some general NBA and NHL playoffs. I guess we'll just fire off some points or takes. Let's start with you. You guys, do you have anything just alarming that you wanted to mention on either?
Not so much. Although I'm so done with. We've talked about it several times. I'm just done with Carolina. I was watching them play, and I'm just like, they just shouldn't be. They shouldn't be playing. Like, I mean, they're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're like the Wild, where they keep winning, they keep playing well, and then they lose. And they don't make sense in terms of the teams that are part of the NHL playoffs. But
They're up 2-1 right now against Washington.
and they're already up 2-1 in the series. So
They kind of hang in the mix, don't they?
yep. And then I don't want Toronto to win. I'd rather just see Florida go all the way again.
Yep.
But also Dallas leading is annoying as fuck to me.
Rantanen really figuring it out. I mean, he's had like 9 points in their last 7 goals or something. I don't think he scored on yesterday, so credit to the rest of the team for showing that they're not a one-man band. But
Yeah. Winnipeg has to break the President's Trophy curse.
yeah.
And break through and make it to the Cup and win it. Although I don't necessarily want to see a Canadian team win it, but
Hellebuck needs to
other
figure out
teams-
his shit on the road.
I know.
He's got a 6-point something goals against, which he had the shutout at home on Friday night, which I thought was awesome. I thought it was gonna wake him up and he was gonna be back, but then he just gives up another 4-bomb yesterday to Dallas on the road. It's infuriating to watch because he is one of my favorite goalies, and he's obviously Team USA goalies. And there's now a bit of a goalie controversy, a little goalie standoff maybe between him and Otter for who's going to get the starting job in Italy
Yeah.
in February.
I think it'll probably still be Hellebuck, but it depends on what happens in these playoffs and the start of the year next year. There's still a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
Another question, too, flipping to the NBA side. How in the flying fuck did the Denver Nuggets only score 8 points in the first quarter yesterday?
I don't know. I thought it was I thought it was embarrassing that the Wolves scored 11 points in the second quarter of Game 1 last week.
Double digits, at least.
They got in double figures, 8 points. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
With Jokic on your team, like a 2 or 3-time MVP.
He should score you 15 at least in a quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what he should be averaging. Dude, the NBA playoffs have been all over the place. Like, you have several games where teams are just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And there's it's not even close. There were a couple OKC Denver games. Like that Game 1 was pretty exciting. But it's just been, and then Indiana destroyed the Cavs, is destroying the top seed Cavs right now, I think, right in the series. And it's just, I do like the unpredictability of it right now because you have the Wolves are a 6-7 seed. And then now the Indiana's beating the top seed Cleveland Cavaliers, where from 2012 to 2020, it was either the Heat, Cavs, or Golden State in the championship every time.
Which was just it got so old.
And that was when the Wolves were winning 12 games a year, so it was just the NBA was
giving
really
out
bad.
free tickets with pizza, the $2 pizza you buy.
That was just it's insane. So the NBA has improved on that for sure. It's been a little bit more unpredictable, but
dude, you know what I just thought of? What these pizza companies should do if they want to keep selling Zaz. We've seen so much success with the ticket giveaways on Instagram. Yeah. They should do a golden ticket.
They should.
Where you throw in a pizza and they're courtside seats. Mm-hmm. Well, at first you got to dish out $1,000 for those, but
I don't know. But the organization can afford that. Yeah, they can afford one. I mean, I don't think they're going to really be in a negative if they do that, and it would create a.
They don't need to market right now. They're marketing themselves.
It would
although I was watching fucking Pardon the Interruption today, and they were like, yeah, I think this is where Golden State's gonna find one. They're gonna steal one tonight, and I'm like, they still don't have Steph Curry. Unless we miss every single 3-pointer, they're not gonna win.
I know. Exactly.
What are you talking about?
They have to rely on us missing shots and playing bad like we have been, but we've still been able to lead the series. I remember Stephen A. Smith last week on First Take or whatever was talking about it, and he's like, of course he was going off, but he was kind of right though, where he said, if the Timberwolves don't win the next 3 games, we can throw everything we said about Ant out the window. And it's wait, I wouldn't go that far.
Yep, yeah,
but
he'd be a terrible basketball player, wouldn't he?
But I don't know about that take. But in the end, though, it's they are out of their best player. We are on paper should dominate this team.
Yeah.
So
unless he's sitting on the court in street clothes with a hat with backwards text on it, like Steph Curry, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
AKA, I know that was a long, dumb way of saying unless Ant's hurt, that's the only way he's gonna.
Which he's.
Scary incidents. Yeah, he kind of is hurt. The ankle thing is not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, that's weird. But he did come out of the locker room and then played a whole other game, and whenever he gets hurt, it looks like the scariest thing in the world, and he's just fine.
Yeah. Last thing I have on this. How about Tomas Hertl just assaulting his trainer?
Yeah.
Smacked him spiked his stick and smacked his trainer right in the side of the head.
Did you see that Vegas and their warm-up skate put that outline the chalk of a dead person?
Yep.
On the glass?
Love that.
Amazing.
Apparently, Hurdle and the trainer made up. They took a photo, and I'm guessing Hurdle bought him something really nice or brought him out to dinner or whatever. But
So it was kind of intentional.
yeah, he was slamming his stick because he was mad, and on the backswing of it,
Oh,
smoked his trainer.
Oh man!
off.
So this
The
trainer
was like bleeding. He had to get stitches, I think.
Damn. So who's the trainer for the trainer? No, he's good enough.
True,
He
yeah.
can,
Bring in the emergency backup trainer. Just some
Emergency backup
doctor in the
trainer.
crowd. Just some fucking Vegas doctor, which is like the guy from The Hangover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or some plastic surgeon, but he's in Vegas. That's a doctor for everything.
Or he's like a stripper. He's like a male stripper.
He's a male stripper. Who did someone order a doctor? Yeah. No, we actually need a doctor.
Our doctor needs a doctor.
No, we legitimately need a doctor. No stripping right now.
Yes.
Can do that later.
Do that after.
I have the part-time gigs.
All right. Yeah.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
we got a comment from Cam and a text from Cam.
Our Cam?
No.
No, he's watching. He's probably watching some random baseball game.
Or he's watching highlights of some D1 basketball game from February
Reminiscent, yeah.
that he won a bet on.
Would you guys agree that the East is a lot more physical than the West regarding hockey?
Yeah, I mean, Florida is very physical.
Yeah.
Toronto's
know.
somewhat physical.
That's a weird. I don't know. I don't know if I would agree with that. I feel like
Probably evenly
Edmonton.
matched.
I feel like Edmonton and Vegas, we having played them, are very physical. That was a very physical series. Edmonton and McDavid and Draisaitl and all them are crazy. Dallas, you know, with Jamie Benn and those guys. I wouldn't say that. Honestly, I would still say the West is a lot more physical, but it's hockey. Everyone's physical. I don't know. I don't know what metric you can look at. You can maybe look at the hits in a game.
It's probably the only way to measure it.
But I guess this is from a personal opinion of watching it. I would say, I don't know. East are pussies.
In terms of scrums and dirty hits, the East is worse though. Like, have you seen in that Florida Maple Leafs series? Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
many dirty hits there have been. But then
Domi.
again, on the
Last night.
on the West side, was it? I don't remember who it was on Vegas, but they threw a cross check right to someone's face, and there was a 5-minute major for that.
They got kicked out.
Yeah, I can't remember if who that was. If it was Carlson or
No. It was number.
Not
it was like
Theodore.
Wah. It's
yeah,
some-
Wah.
or Roy or
I don't.
who knows.
Either way, it was a dirty cross check. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to measure. I mean, both sides have been very physical. I'd say the least physical game of all of them has been Canes versus, other than Ovi, dude. Ovi, he just goes around headhunting still.
Yeah, he just goes around. If he's not getting the puck, he's just looking to
Just does not
pop
give
some
a
helmets.
fuck. It's awesome.
Well, last night, Toronto, Florida, I was watching the end of that game, and I forgot who it was, but the Toronto player just completely boarded one of the Florida players into the boards. Like, right as the clock was expiring, they were losing.
that
And
was
that
Domi.
Domi on, I forgot who it was. On,
You know what?
Yeah, Barkov.
Fucking Max Domi. He's such a rat. I remember playing against him.
Bitch.
I remember playing against him when he was on Dallas. He's just a pest. So
Wasn't he on Arizona way back
on
in the
the
day?
Hawks too.
Yeah, but was he on Arizona way back? Didn't he get drafted by Arizona?
Yes.
and his dad was the same type of player, right?
Yeah, even his dad was way worse.
Yeah.
Max actually has a little bit of skill.
Runs in the family.
Yes, he
I
does.
guess.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Kirill and Zuccy, little sports tour they've been going on.
Well, I've only seen him at the United game. Where else have they been?
They were at the Timberwolves playoff game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They were at
Idiot.
game one. Yeah, you are an idiot.
Yeah, damn. I was just thinking about that Messi thing was in my head.
Yep. Kirill met Jettas. There was a legendary handshake. The handshake heard around Minnesota, maybe we'll call it.
Yeah, I was saying this might have been a more historic handshake than the historic picture we saw between Richard Nixon and Mao in 1972, re-enlighting the Chinese relations there.
Yep.
This was more historic.
Yeah.
Mark our words.
Or even you had Zuccy, Kirill, Taylor Heisey, and Jettas. Maybe if you swap out Zuccy only because you already have Wild representation there and you replace him with Ant.
Yeah.
That would be like in World War II when, another World War II reference for you, when Roosevelt, Churchill, and God, I probably look so stupid. trying to
Stalin?
think this hard. Stalin. All
The
met
Axis
together.
of powers.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That was a cool picture, though.
Yeah.
Those guys were all there. I'm guessing, it was obviously a very big game for Minnesota United, hosting Messi
Yeah.
and then proceeding to own him.
But yeah, no, good for Kirill, and I mean, you're out of the playoffs. So some people are up. We know people in particular that we could call out that get mad at them going out in public and going out and having fun at games or going to bars.
They're not going to get Game 6 back by staying in on Saturday night.
So they're going to sit inside and just dwell on the fact that I'm done playing hockey and just they have money.
Yes.
And the weather's getting nice. Enjoy yourself. You got to take the positives of being eliminated and like, okay, well, I'm done after a whole year of just doing shit nonstop where I'm going to be back into it just in a couple months. Go out and have fun. Like they should be doing that. They're supporting other teams and it's great.
These guys have been on a grind since September. No, since August.
Middle of August.
Middle of August is when they start getting ready for camp and they start getting to camp. But
these guys are athletes. If they want to keep it going every year before they retire, they're still working out almost every day on top of this already.
Yeah.
They're already putting.
I can guarantee you, Kirill Kaprizov is going to skate all summer.
Yep, they go through those crazy personal regimens. I mean, we've seen on the Becoming Wild documentaries where they have their own personal trainers and they still work out like nuts every day, almost every day. So they're still going through it. It may be lighter, and they can cheat a little bit more in the diet, drink a few more beers and stuff like that. But still.
What are some events you guys would like to see them hit later on this tour? I put a Twins game so that they can drink Captain's Patch.
Twins game would be great. The Yacht Club Festival, it's a concert. Harriet Island.
Yeah.
Get them going at a festival. They'll probably be in the VIP area.
Get some Surly Furiouses like you.
Get some Furious. That's the concert drink of choice. But yeah, get them on stage.
State Fair.
State Fair,
3M Open.
Yeah.
3M Open. I feel like they'll be at the 3M Open, or at least one. Vikings players were.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing they'll go to one of these Frost games, one of these Frost playoff games, drink Captain's Patch there too.
They can do that.
Want them to be alcoholics with our beer.
Burger Moe's.
Hang out.
Sinkhole.
Maybe we'll just grab a 6-pack and go tailgate by the sinkhole.
Yeah, because no cars are gonna be going through.
Just sit on the edge of it, like kick your legs into it, like you're kicking your legs over like a dock.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 30-foot sinkhole.
Be like workaholics where they sit on the roof, but we're just sitting by the sinkhole.
Yeah.
Just drinking Captain's Patches, talking about life.
Dude, you know what we should do? We should do like a 10K special report from the sinkhole. I wonder how close we can get to it.
You probably can't get incredibly close, but you could get. There's a point where you probably get close enough where we can still
Maybe throw stuff in there for good luck. Like throw a quarter in there like it's a fountain.
People should start
wishing for a Stanley Cup or another Walter Cup.
People should start like using it as like a sacrifice. Like they have posters of like Torrey Hunter or something.
Yeah, or like what they
Throw it
did outside of American Airlines Center when Luka got traded. They started laying his jersey and shit everywhere like he died.
That's a little weird to me.
It's so weird.
That was
Although,
bizarre.
you know what? It was all part of the master plan. They got Cooper Flag,
Yeah, they did.
which is kind of crazy to compare him to Luka, but
No, he's younger, right? Yeah. So, but that was. We can start doing that. Let's start throwing jerseys down of like Kirill.
let's just start throwing shit down that sinkhole and just see what happens, man. It can't get any worse, right?
Yep, it'll be forever. They'll be forever buried there once they've filled the sinkhole. So remember that.
God, dude, we should just do. I think especially as the summer goes on and the amount of topics we have on this show start to dwindle, there should just be an ongoing sinkhole update. And since I live down here, I can like go down there and like take photos and report about it.
Like sinkhole still open.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be the number one
sinkhole.
sinkhole journalist
Yeah.
in Twin Cities.
Get in the sinkhole.
Yeah. We'll get a ladder.
Or we'll rappel
You guys
down.
remember how? So you know how in Buffalo they broke ground on their new stadium last season? Maybe it was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And there was this massive pit where they were putting like the foundation for it. And
Yeah.
once every single tailgate, a drunk fan would climb the fence and jump in the pit. Like maybe that's what we got to start doing with the sinkhole.
Get drunk enough, we'll be at Burger Moe's. I mean, it's right around bars, so it's easy to get drunk. That's the first step, and then build the confidence to go in there and go from there. Maybe
You know
there's
those
some secret
videos
shit
where,
down
where
there.
people wear like GoPros and they like hang from skyscrapers? We'll just do that with the sinkhole.
Yeah. And then we'll go down there and there'll be some secret cavern or something we find down
Yeah.
there. We'll discover some treasure, like national treasure. I don't know, except we didn't look up any clues. We just went into a
Dude, you know,
sinkhole.
we'll probably find a ton of fucking liquor because this was a big prohibition city. And my building here in Lower Town actually runs directly over the old catacombs where they ran liquor during prohibition.
Wow.
So maybe if you jump down the sinkhole, you'll find like some 1910 aged whiskey that'll sell for like $100,000 a bottle or something, and we'll be rich.
Yeah, and some dead bodies too. Some in a
Yeah,
demon.
some mob guys.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
There's mafia shit in the city.
All right, that's enough talk about the sinkhole.
Yeah.
Let's end with a little game here. I got.
Oh,
for
wait,
you
wait, no, we
guys.
got voicemails. Voicemails.
Oh, sorry.
Is this a bit, dude? Are you doing
No,
a
I'm
bit?
not. I'm just.
Jake, is he doing a bit?
I'm not doing a
I
bit.
haven't been in on the bit if
Promise.
he's doing a bit.
I promise.
I don't. Maybe it's a bit that we don't know about.
No.
It's because I have all of these notes on my computer and I get lost where I am at a given time, and then I have to jump and guess.
It's a bit.
No, it's because I hate the listeners, and I don't think they deserve to have a voice.
No, we're not. Yeah, they don't have. We are not pro free speech here.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
So we have 5 voicemails. We're gonna start off with this one here.
No, we should
Alright.
get these on. Oh, there.
Oh,
that.
yeah, we gotta put
this
the-
thing is hooked
Yeah.
again.
Get ready. All right.
I blame you.
I can't really grab this thing.
So you gotta list off the prompt was
that
what
one.
should the Wild do in
yeah.
the off season?
Yeah. What's the Wild do in the off season? One's unrelated to that.
Take that one, pal.
Yeah.
if I can still grab. There we go. This one's a lot better.
All right.
Throw the headphones on. All right, play that shit.
Are you ready?
Fire Hines, hire Torts. We need that hired style of coaching.
That was
That's
just a quick
it?
one. Just a quick one.
Play it again.
Yeah. One more time. Take it in.
Fire Hines, hire Torts. We need that hired style of coaching.
That fired Hiles coaching?
Fire Hines and then hire Torts.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
not doing that.
I'm sorry. Hines is not the
happen.
problem.
Hines or Bill Guerin are not the problem.
Torts, I think it would be good for content. Be very funny. Him and Russo would have some epic battles.
Yeah, I think it would be great. I think Torts would be a very entertaining coach to have, but we don't need to fire Hines. You don't need to fire him. We had you know what the problem was playing 2 players that didn't even play on the roster for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a problem.
Or having everyone get hurt.
Yeah, and then people getting hurt too on top of that and still making the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next one here.
Hey, what's up, 10K boys? It's John from Egan. My hottest take for the upcoming Wild off season is that Billy Guerin does absolutely fuck all and keeps the team the same except re-signing Kaprizov and Rossi, but no roster moves. That's my hot take. Also, Sarge, the Bulldogs suck ass. Go Sue. We stole your defender. We stole a forward. Fuck the Bulldogs. Fuck the Gophers.
I love it.
So yeah, John, love that.
Wow.
So he's saying no. So does he want us to just let Cap just sit there for
Essentially,
Leopold to spend at?
So I will
Monaco?
say he's not. Kirill's going to cost a lot.
He is.
Yes.
Let's be real here. 15 million.
he is. But there's no way Bill Guerin, who's Billy Gambles, is not going to go after a player or two.
I
Also
also
said I'm going to be really aggressive this summer.
He is going to do everything he can to still extend Kirill, maybe even sign Rossi to a friendly deal and still try to go after somebody. He sees the roster we have. He sees that we need a couple more players, and now we have this extra cap now, and they're going to be raising it probably a little bit. There's no way he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, no,
he is going to go after somebody.
He's gonna go after
He would
someone.
literally be fired, I think, if he does nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
It'd be a Paul Fenton and when he took a honeymoon or a trip or whatever he did, and then he got
yeah.
canned.
Yeah.
That was
That's
so
the best time to
stupid.
get fired though, because you're like, well, I guess I don't have to go back for work, so I could just stay here.
He just he took a vacation during the first week of free agency and did nothing.
That's insane. It is always funny how like that news always drops around the 4th of July.
Yep.
all right, we got the next one here.
This is Ethan calling in about my hottest Wild take of the year. So obviously it's going to be centered around Rossi. I'm skeptical, I'll be honest, about whether he's going to be our guy at one center. Mainly his size concerns me, but if we keep him and he proves me wrong, I'll eat my words. But my ideal situation here is we target Dylan Larkin. I think Detroit has been stuck in this mid for years after their 20-some plus playoff streak came to an end, and I think they could be looking to make some changes. So I propose that we trade Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and 2 firsts to get Dylan Larkin to be our number 1 center his contract's up through 2031, and he's only making 8.7 a year. I feel like that's that's a steal. And Wild have never had that true dog at one center, which I believe is the key piece we're missing. And they don't grow on trees, so obviously we're getting to this window where we need to start making moves, and I think Larkin is going to fit that ticket. I think Eck's going to be an outstanding 2 center. I just don't feel like he has the talent and the skill to be that true 1 center that's going to just put up a monster amount of points. So yeah, and it's about time this organization takes a serious swing, and I feel like this is our perfect opportunity.
Yeah,
I love Dylan Larkin.
I love Dylan Larkin,
I've been a Dylan Larkin fan since he's been into the league.
Yeah, the Red Wings are
shitty
like
Red Wings team.
One of a few teams you got to think that are probably in blow it up mode and start over because they've just been mid, and we could steal one of those types of players from an organization who's looking to blow it up and rebuild.
Yeah, Larkin's only like 28 years old.
God, he was so good in Four Nations too.
Dude, he's like I mean, trading away Rossi, I think would be fine. Giving up 2 first-rounders is kind of weird, but in the NHL, that's not like giving up 2 first-rounders in the NFL.
Well, think about it too. Those are probably going to be 2 lower round picks.
That just
lower end picks because we're going to be hopefully in the top 8 teams at least.
Yeah, exactly. And like whoever we draft is going to not play right away anyway. The way the NHL, we can still pick up great guys in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I honestly agree with that. That's the best take so far, I think.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like it.
That's great.
I like it.
But there's a couple more. But yeah, Larkin.
I don't know if I'm in on trading Rossi yet. I don't think he's supposed to be a first-line center.
If there's a way we could get Larkin and keep Rossi, obviously that'd be great.
Oh yeah, I'll come.
Maybe there's other. Yeah, I'm gonna come.
I will open the window and stick my dick out.
God, bring Dylan Larkin to the Wild.
Yep. Yeah, cool. Not bad.
Right. And the next one, this one's long.
Hey, 10K TV. This is Sam Munson, number 9 on Grocery Sticks, C2 Sunday men's Wild Adult Men's League at the Blaine Super Rink.
Oh yeah,
coming off
they got
a
the
fresh
stickers in that
18
one.
At Chamonix, and a smooth plus 1890 on the course. So not my best, not my worst outing. But now let's talk some hockey. What are we talking? Oh yeah, off season. Well, let's look at free agency here. I'm freeballing this one, guys. I haven't really thought too much about it. All right, we got Brock Besser coming from Vancouver.
Yep.
I'd like to see Billy G take a stab at him. As long as we don't overpay. You know, I think if we can get him around for the $7 million AAV, 3-4 years, that'd be worth it. I believe Brad Marchand is going to be a free agent. I don't think Florida signed him. Maybe take a stab at him. He's got some years left. He's got that playoff, physicality that we're looking for on the Wild. Definitely a top 2 line role there, 3 depending on who we sign. I'd like Besser. Just haven't seen a lot from him in the playoffs, so I don't know about that one. Let me think of some other free agents. Oh,
he's just going on the free agent list.
I'd like to lock Kirill up.
Okay, that's.
We do have caps going up quite a bit.
He threw Marchand's name out there first.
I don't know if I'd go to 15 a year on Kirill, but 14's definitely worth it. I'm a big fan of Rossi. I see you guys are as well. In terms of Rossi's contract, maybe a 6x6 or something. I think maybe 6 is a little high. Maybe a 5 mil a year. I don't know, but he's just got that. He goes in hard after the dump-ins. He's good forechecker. He's smart. He may make a mistake here or there, but who doesn't? What else do we have to do this off season? I think our back end is actually looking pretty good. We got Faber locked up, 8x8 or whatever that was. Fleury's gone, but we got Gus, we got Wallstead coming in. I think that's a fair pair. Maybe maybe more experience with another goalie, but we'll see how they roll.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
So he messaged us and said he was super baked when he made that.
Apparently, he calls shit. I haven't really thought about this.
Yeah,
even though, that's
he's like,
the
oh,
prompt.
I'm going to free ball. I love that, though, dude.
Yeah.
Zero preparation.
Yeah.
Just dialed and fired it off. That's great.
Dude, amazing.
Great. Well, yeah. Is that the last one?
No, we got one more.
Okay.
This one was before. I wasn't able to get to it last week because it happened mid-show.
So
but
this is just
a good,
unrelated.
Good, unrelated. Just
okay.
Good old.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it.
What's up, 10K boys? This is Colin from Goodrich Golf Course. You guys were out here a couple weeks ago playing. Just wanted to say absolutely love having you fellas out here. Hope to have you guys out here again soon. We'll comp you for your rounds and everything.
Wow.
You name it. You just give the boys a little shout out at Goodrich Golf Course. Love your content. Love everything you're doing for Minnesota sports. Let's go Wolves, baby.
Goodrich Golf Course and Golf Dome, keep in mind.
Yes.
I was actually going to that dome ever since I was a little kid. I'd practice there in the winter. My dad would take me there. So just love the fine people who run the Goodrich Golf Club.
It's a incredibly fun course, too. Like, it's a great... Maplewood has kind of changed in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
10, 20 years.
But Goodrich has held its value, Jake.
Goodrich is outstanding. Great
Played
quality
every year.
course. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a great course.
We're going to be playing it more often
We'll
now.
definitely be
'cause
playing there.
You know what? Hell yeah, dude. Goodrich Golf Club. Support it.
And they're. I encourage the listeners to check it out if you've never played Goodrich. It's a good
We
spot.
got to get captain's patch at Goodrich.
We do. It'd be a good course because they love it.
That
They're
would be.
10K
I don't know. I
sponsor.
don't think we're in any golf courses yet.
That's ridiculous.
Tyler says, "God damn, that was longer than the 7th Harry Potter books."
Oh, dude, I wouldn't even understand that reference because I only got through like 2 of them, and I'm like, fuck, these books are too long. I
Yeah.
quit.
So
I'm gonna start watching the movies and
kind of
try
in the
taking
same
the
boat.
accelerated reader test based on those.
Spark Notes.
Yep.
You can do AI now.
Yep. All right, should we move into our final segment?
Yes,
Thank
let's
you,
do
folks.
it.
Keep calling in. Keep giving us your takes. Especially that was a really good one with Wild off season.
Yeah, 651-300-2129.
Yes. So feel free to call in. We'll feature you on the show, completely anonymous. And let's move into a final segment. This one's going to be fun. Little game for you guys. I don't really know how I came up with this randomly last week listening to something else. But this is a segment called, Is This a Former Minnesota Athlete or Actor? Now, specifically, this is Minnesota Pro Sports, men's and women's, so no college. These are actors, specifically movie actors and voice actors, not pornographic actors.
I was going to say, I'll fucking be
Yeah,
dialed in if that was the case.
Sorry, Sarge.
Yeah, the first one is Bonnie Blue. No, I'm kidding. All right, so let's start with the males here. So is this a Minnesota former pro athlete? This could also be current, sorry. Or is this a voice or movie actor? Okay. And bonus point if you can guess which team, if it is a current or former pro Minnesota athlete. Matthew Wood.
Matt Wood.
Oh, boy.
I'm pretty sure Matthew Wood. Goodness gracious.
That one actually sounds like a porn star. Not a
That does sound like Wood.
It is spelled
Damn.
W-O-O-D.
My gut is telling me a former Twins player.
Yeah, same here. That's telling me a former Twins player. But it could be like this one. I'm going to say it's a former athlete, and he was a former Twins player.
Yeah.
So there's 2 points up for grabs if you do less than athlete. So former, you guys are both doing that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my gut.
So this was actually the voice actor for General Grievous.
Okay.
In what is it? The last
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
I
Yep.
know that.
It's the guy who plays. Yeah.
Well,
No, that's
Obi-Wan,
yeah.
but he runs into General Grievous.
right when he
says,
jumps
"Hello
down.
there."
He says hello there.
And he had 8 lightsabers.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I love General Grievous. Yeah. Wow.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was General.
That was
Grievous.
General Grievous.
All right.
All right. Let's go. David Hornsby.
He played on the Timberwolves. He's an athlete.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I'm gonna David Hornsby. I'm gonna say that's an actor of some sort.
So it is an actor. It is the actor for Riggedy Cricket.
Oh,
It's Always Sunny. Yeah.
oh wow, he's from Minnesota.
David Hornsby. No.
Oh.
These people aren't from Minnesota.
Oh, so I'm really okay.
This is
that
either
that
an
opens up
actor.
my entire thing.
Not
now.
enough actors from
Oh.
Minnesota to probably play this game.
Okay.
I thought you were like doing Minnesota. So damn it, I thought Matthew Wood, the voice of General Grievous.
Although Matthew Wood, that is an athlete's name.
It is. There's
Miles Wood.
Is it a hockey player's name?
Miles Wood plays for like
a Matthew Wood athlete.
It's a hockey player.
He played. Yeah, that's where he played for the Gopher Hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Matthew Wood. That's where I'm getting really confused. And I think he still plays in the league.
I think that was the reason I
he
had
played
to
it this year.
I had to specify it was pros only because I'm like, holy shit, that guy definitely
Yeah.
played for Gopher Hockey. It's the
He
same
just
name.
played this year. Yeah, that's where I'm getting really confused.
But
Okay.
not a Minnesota athlete, technically.
Not-
Minnesota pro athlete,
He's-
current or former.
Yeah, because he's from British Columbia.
All right. Final one for the men's side, we have Greg Myers. Keep in mind, I could have done 0 athletes. So
I know that.
actor or Minnesota sports pro or
Greg Myers.
former
Greg
or
Myers.
current pro. Greg Myers.
I'm going athlete again. I'm sticking with it.
I feel like that could just be some random Minnesota Twins pitcher.
Seriously.
But I don't. I'm gonna say Greg Myers. You know what? That sounds like an actor. I'm gonna go with an actor.
So he was a catcher for the Minnesota Twins in 1996.
Okay.
One of the most random probably. That was probably like the most random Minnesota Twins season.
Kind of
too,
the post-championship era.
when they were thought about being sold.
Yep.
When it was really bad.
Were you
Okay.
even alive then?
I was born in '96. My birthday's actually tomorrow.
I wasn't even alive.
Hey, well, happy early birthday.
Well, happy early birthday, Jake.
Yep. May 13th,
What are
1996.
you going to do? You going to get blackout drunk or what's
Yep,
the plan?
on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep.
Going up.
On a Tuesday.
You're going to get high and then try to predict what the Wild will do in the offseason.
Yep. That's exactly
Except
what I'm
you'll
going
call
to
it a
do.
K-fan instead.
Man, if I get high and try to predict the Wild offseason, it might just be bizarre.
You might jump in the sinkhole.
I might.
Then you'll need to call the cops.
Here's my prediction for the Wild offseason. I'm
Yeah.
going to jump in the sinkhole.
Yep. All right, let's move to the women's side. So is this a actress or a current either Frost or Lynx player or former Frost or Lynx player? Katie Knoll.
Katie Knoll?
Knoll.
I'm going actress.
Knoll.
I'm going actress.
Does this include like Minnesota Whitecaps players too?
Yep. Former, so this could be former.
Katie
so.
Knoll or Knoll?
Knoll. Katy. Knoll.
She's
Sounds
an
like,
actress.
It sounds like a former hockey. I'm going former hockey player.
I'm still going actress.
You're going actress. I'm going former.
This is a current forward for the Frost.
Okay. And and that shows how well versed I am with the Frost roster.
Same.
But
Marlo
it
would be
sounded
pissed
like
at you.
maybe I am right on. I've heard her maybe as a top end women's hockey player because I was on the right track. I just thought
You were
maybe
there.
a former.
You were close.
I was there. Okay.
Next, we have Bonnie Aarons.
Not Bonnie Blue.
Nope. Bonnie Aarons spelled BONNIEAARONS.
I'm going actress again.
One actress. That sounds like an actress to me.
Okay, yes, this is an actress who was portrayed as the nun in the Conjuring
Oh,
horror
fuck
series.
that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Bonnie Aarons.
Cool.
So the beautiful woman who plays the most disgusting woman.
I don't know. There's something with Sarge that might get him going.
Sarge's
a
like,
little
yeah, I'd fuck her.
bit. Yeah.
Only
Sarge.
that nun suit.
Some of those church. Oh God.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
Just dripping in blood and
Dude, I'm dripping in sweat right
get
now.
a BJ with those fangs.
Yeah, but
that
you're
she's
wearing
got.
yeah.
All right, final one. Amber Harris.
That's an athlete. That sounds like an athlete.
Amber Harris. That sounds like it's like a former Lynx player.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm going with.
You guys are correct. She was on the first championship team that won with the Lynx in 2011.
We know ball.
Lindsay
You guys nailed
Whalen.
it.
Yeah.
You guys nailed it. Yeah.
We're good.
So good job.
We know who won that.
Yeah.
Do you know? Were you keeping track of points? Or the points don't matter.
The points don't matter.
It's like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Bit.
Yeah, just like what we did on the K-Fan show. There was, yeah.
Yeah. What was that game we did? On
It was
there?
whose betting line is it anyway?
Oh,
So we
yeah.
try to guess lines and spreads.
Where
And,
the lines are real, but the
and we
points
would just
don't matter.
try not to swear live on the air.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, that should have been our tagline for that show. Try Not to Swear live on the air.
Yeah.
We're with 10K Takes on Sunday afternoon at 1.
Radio, we try not to swear on the air,
Fucking
folks.
sports gambling in a state where it's illegal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So. All right, folks, that just about does it for another episode of 10K TV. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Make sure to tune in here in the next 10 or so minutes. We just got to switch around some setup stuff for the Timberwolves Golden State Warriors Game 4. Also, make sure to enter our giveaway on all of our social play. Actually, on Facebook, Instagram, 10K Takes. Make sure to go to 10ktakesmn.com. Buy some of our merch. Support the brand. And make sure if you're listening to this show later but you want to see it live, every single Monday at 7-ish on YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, Twitch. Yeah.
Everywhere.
So, everywhere. Thank you, folks, for everything, and we'll see you next week.